All right, we keep going further and further, deeper into the night here at the falling Allstar Cafe. We have the infamous Brody, the main topic of conversation throughout the night at the cafe. Give me a round of applause.
I'm so excited. I did not know.
Well, I got to tell you that a lot of emotions around Brody this go round. They thought you were the culprit behind all of this elephant hunting at the beginning, all the big ones leaving early. What say you, bro?
I think there were a lot of moves that I had to make early, and in order to have any chance at this game, I took shots at a lot of big targets. But I don't think I could have done it without other people supporting me along the way. So I don't think it was purely me. I think there were definitely alliances that made it happen. Like Taylor being with me at one point was huge in order to get Thomas out, in order to get Matthew out. So I think that was very influential in the way I played. But then flipping away from him later on also allowed me to make some big moves.
Mm-hmm. There we go. I mean, so it was definitely a different game with all these all-stars, right? I mean, it
Very
seemed
much.
like the challenges really didn't have a whole bunch of value. It was 80% social. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, easily. I think a lot of people purely were going off of who can we have connections with. It was never a thought of challenge prowess. And I think that came to hurt people at points. I think especially with the tribe swap, choosing tribes, I think the tribe I was on was lucky enough to be very competition. They were very good at the competitions. So I think that hurt the other tribe, and I think it gave me life in the game, because otherwise I don't know if I would have gotten as far.
Mm-hmm. So there seemed to be a lot of conversation at the cafe throughout the day. I mean, there was like the ultra season all-stars and just the regular season all-star. Of course, you was up there. So what was there a lot of manipulation with the not-so-seasoned folks, like shepherding the sheep along, or?
I don't think so. I think everyone that was here was good enough to be here, and so they obviously know the game and can influence people regardless of how often they have played. I think a great example of that is Noah, who's only played 3 times before coming, not the 10 times that some people have played, and yet he's able to manipulate people just as well as anyone. I don't think he did that today a whole lot. But
do you think he floated and coattailed along, or do you think
he
played the game?
I don't think he floated. I do think he played the game. I just think he chose an interesting strategy that was not going to gain the respect of people on the jury.
So who was your original final 2?
I originally made a final 2 with Matthew, round 1.
What happened there?
I regretted that immediately, because I just felt like I needed to have a final 2 to make sure I wasn't the first out. I regretted that. I cannot tell you all the final 2s and 3s I made throughout the day. I made one with Taylor. I made a final 3. I don't remember. I made a final 4 with Taylor, Ani, and Emma. I made a final 3 with Noah and Adele. I made a final 3 with the Zappies, or final 4 with the Zappies and Noah. I made a final 3 with Emma, Ani, and myself. I just had so many, and I think that was a big reason I got so much dislike from people as they went out, because I made so many alliances and I had to break every single one. And not only did I do that, but I then lied to their face most of the time and was not very good at handling that and steering that away.
There was some hurt feelings there.
And I think that's understandable, especially for people who weren't able to see what I was doing at the time. It's very easy in the game to see from one person's perspective, especially when you are the person on the outs or the person who's possibly going out, and just think the option I'm giving you is the best option in the game. And I think I had great options. I think I put myself in a position to where really, I thought I could beat any one of those other three at the Final Four. I came very close, but was unfortunate and did not win. But I think I put myself in a good position to get there with people who I had a chance of beating. And so I think the way I played, I couldn't be happier with the game I played. I think there are things I need to improve on if I do play again, but that is for another time.
Well, you definitely gained a lot of respect throughout the game. That's the feedback you got. You'll see that on the cafe camera when it's edited out. Hey, one of the legends here, Brodacia, played an excellent game. Could have easily won, and it's been an awesome game. So, deserving winner, Adele?
I think Adele was by far the most deserving player in this cast. I think she was probably more deserving than me. I wanted to take her out top 6, to be honest, but I didn't think there was a way I could do it and make sure I still had the trust I needed to give myself a chance at top 3. So there was no way of doing that to go behind Noah's back. So I just went with it, but I think she's the most deserving player in this game.
Excellent. Okay, here at the cafe all night, the eliminated player gets to pick and name the blue plate special of the evening, and it needs to be named sort of how your game went today. And of course, it doesn't have to be a real food. But it needs to be something with a side of what? Maybe a regretful lasagna with a side of.
Oh, I'm thinking it has to be something along the lines of messy fried catfish.
With a side of?
With a side of balls to the wall energy.
Puppies.
Puppies. Energy puppies.
Okay, you heard it right there. All right, Brody, your last time to talk to you fans and give them your last line.
Hope you enjoyed. Sorry for being an asshole at times, but that's just what I am.
Ooh. All right. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
All right, it's getting close to closing time here at the cafe. We are down to one of 2 of the runner-ups, Mr. Noah. Played real hard. Got up there, got the final seat. Excellent. Long day here at the Falling Allstar Cafe. So let's talk about it a little bit. Obviously, you played a good game. So was it more, let me just throw it out there right now. Were you riding coattails and floating the whole way, or did you have a strategy behind this great game?
My strategy going in was that I would never planned on actually trusting anybody, because this is my 4th time playing, and the past 3 times I've stuck with people. I got voted out 9th, 6th, and 4th. So I knew going in to do opposite of what my gut told me. So every time my gut told me vote with these people, I actually voted with the opposite group. And so yeah, I did flip. I didn't float, but I flipped all the way to that chair.
So obviously you had a few apostles there running around with you. Who were those?
Dude, I can't even think of a name now. I'm so bad at names.
But you had the girls with you, right?
That's what I'm saying. Both those girls.
Adele,
yeah, especially Adele. She was somebody that I talked to in the very first day, like the very first competition we talked and made something. And I did write that because, I mean, I don't know, she just seemed like somebody I could trust, and she'd always look at me and ask what to do and what we should do. And so I felt like I could trust her. And then after that, it was who could benefit me more.
Solid. Most people that came through the cafe said it was a lot less about the challenges and the strength, and there was way more social game and mathematics. Would you agree with that?
I do. This one had a whole lot more to do with your brain. Because everybody here is good at the game, so it was about who could outsmart who. I think every single tribal council took an hour and a half. So
No doubt. Anybody you want to throw shade at right now? Now's the time. Anybody really play dirty that you just like?
Brody played a hell of a game. I'll give him that.
How did he survive so long? Seemed like he should have.
Because he was working with us, and we kept him around. And actually, towards the end, when we got to Final Six, we tried to get him out, and he won 4 immunities in a row to save himself. And so the second he wasn't safe, we gave him the boot. But honestly, I think if I'd have voted to keep Taylor, and he'd have gone home a different way, I'd have had his vote. I feel like he was a salty vote. I feel like Miss Dee was a salty vote. I feel like there were a couple real, like Matthew was definitely a salty vote. There were definitely, my jury management was also very terrible. Very much like Brody's.
No way Brody was going to take the title, right?
No. If it was me, Brody, and Adele, Adele wins with every vote because me and Brody did a very poor job of making the jury like us.
He said the same thing. All right. Well, here at the cafe, we give the exiting player the opportunity to name the blue plate special of the day. All right, and you have to name the blue plate special, sort of describing your gameplay, and have a blank with a side of blank. And of course, it doesn't have to be a real food. Just sort of describe your gameplay in a blue plate special kind of way.
I mean, honestly, I feel like I played a steak. I just played juicy and
With a side of.
just a steak. There was no sides.
You heard it right there. He played the blue plate special is a juicy steak, no sides. Don't need sides.
The steak was enough to fill up
Do
everybody.
you need a knife or it's just a fork?
It'll eat itself.
It'll eat itself. You heard it right there. All right, your last chance to talk to your fans right there.
I'm good.
You good? All right, great game. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you, sir.
All right, we've had last call for alcohol here at the cafe. The band has, all the roadies are starting to load up right now. We're here with the second of the 2 runner-ups of this All-Star game. This is our last Falling Star at the Falling Star Cafe. Miss Ani, what a hell of a game. Are you proud of yourself? I hope you are.
I'm proud of myself.
All right, good. So it was pretty dramatic at the cafe all day long. Tell us a little bit about the game. How did you advance so strong? Let me ask you this: were you a floater, a coattail rider, or did you have strategies throughout?
For the most part, I floated, but underneath it all, I knew what I was doing. I knew who I needed to get out. I knew who I had to talk to so that I would go further.
Mm-hmm. Was there a lot of flipping, flopping, and backstabbing done throughout the day?
Not for me. I stayed loyal.
So you're gonna sleep well tonight?
I'm going to sleep well.
Ani's gonna sleep well tonight. Okay, very good. So everybody wants to know, how did Brody advance so much? What was he doing? Did he have y'all under his spell, or was he just gaming well?
He was winning everything. I wanted to get Brody out early, but which is what we should have done.
Didn't work out that way.
No.
Would he have won if he would have made it up top? Or did the jury
The jury would have eaten him alive.
would have eaten him alive? Okay. How about Adele?
Mm-hmm.
She deserved the win?
I think she did, but I wish I wouldn't have taken her to Final 3. I regret that.
You had an opportunity to not take her to the finals?
I did.
Who you wish you would have taken? Do tell.
I wish the circumstances would have been different, and I wish that Luke would have stayed. I would have taken her. But, I don't know. It just depends. If everything would have turned out differently.
Well, that's pretty good getting in the top 3 in the All-Star game. There were some big gorillas out there that was removed before.
Yes.
So be very proud of yourself there. We saved you a plate. It's been under a lamp. So you still got the cafe blue plate special. Speaking of, all of the exiting players is to name the cafe's blue plate special of the day based on your game. So it's a blank with a side of blank is the blue plate special. How would you describe your game as a blue plate special for the audience?
Social with the side of social with a side of slime.
Social. The blue plate special today is social with a side of sly. Sounds great. All right. Your last chance to talk to your fans and your audience right now about the game today.
I felt I did a good game, and I hope that y'all enjoyed.
There you go. That's it. Here we are. The cafe has closed down. The band is gone. The doors are locked, and we're here with our last guest. Winner, chicken dinner, Miss Adele. Can I get a double high five?
I'm so shook, y'all.
I mean, we have so many questions and so little time, but first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, the winner of the All-Star game after...
I do want to just put out there that although my Big Brother game that I won was not technically an All-Stars, it was an All-Star cast, so I won 2 All-Star cast games.
Okay. I mean, legend. We're in Legendville. Right? Legendville.
And it's on film.
Yes! I have a win on film.
You have a win on film. And so...
Are you gonna watch?
Probably not. My fans are gonna be so excited.
So, let's just jump right into it. I mean, you spoke very clear and well up there. You sound like you played a pretty damn good game, not getting nominated or anything. I mean, just talk to us a little bit about it.
I definitely think this is the best game I've ever even I've never even come close to this. I definitely, I think I deserved this. I played, so I never had people against me, and I was never not with every single person in the house.
So were you just sort of letting them eat each other alive throughout the day? You were just sort of...
No, I just had to, my biggest decisions throughout the day were when to flip on people. Because I was good with every single person, and obviously you can't stay good with every single person. People have to go home every week. And so deciding which week each person had to go home that would still benefit me and make the other people who remained in the game not upset with me,
Right.
that was my biggest asset in this game. Because if I would have swapped 2 people, it could have been a whole different outcome.
No.
It just, there were times I was so sure that people were going to hate me after a tribal, and then they just didn't, and so it was like...
So how did y'all get all those big players out early in the game?
Well, I will say that some of those had nothing to do with me, because they did get out Christian first, who I think, I've never played with him, but he's a very strong athletic player, so I think he would have been intimidating if he made it to the merge. They got out Thomas when I wasn't on that tribe. We did get out Lauren, who's a regular who can do really well in these games, and that was, I orchestrated that, and I think we didn't make a predictable game. I don't think any week was predictable.
So who was your strongest final two? Was it Noah?
It was Noah. We literally didn't even really
Y'all
say.
barely knew each other. How did
We
that
didn't.
work?
We met here today. We didn't know each other before.
Amazing.
In this.
Which might have worked good if you think about it. 'Cause
I
nobody
think it
would
did.
put that together.
Nobody expected it. We didn't. I mean, we talked, but we didn't make it obvious because Emma and Ani were targeted as a pair. Kyle and Alex were targeted as a pair. Even Taylor and Emma at one point were targeted as a pair. Me and Noah were never targeted as a pair, even though we were
That's true.
working with each other from literally the end of the first round without even having to say it. We both were just kind of like, and he was like, oh yeah. And then we did this high five thing where we did like that, and then from there it was just known. It didn't even have to be said. So
Well, that's a sign of a great player right there, and usually, we hear those stories over and over. So, I think everybody knows you deserve this one, and we love it, and we think it's wonderful. So, anybody you need to throw shade on or anything? Anything that we need to go on the record with?
honestly, and I've said this before, at first I was so disappointed with how it seemed like the jurors were treating people who were still in the game and people who were getting out. It just felt like I had never felt more targeted, and it wasn't even really towards me. I just felt like everyone was so salty and bitter, and I was honestly hurting my heart because I was like, all of these people have either been in those chairs or been very close or won. Some of those people, like Emma's game is still arguably, like, because of a bitter jury, she didn't win. And so it's like the fact that I was feeling like they were going to be bitter, like this group of people out of anyone who could have played, this group of people I felt like needed to be the least bitter. And I don't think they were not bitter. Because if they were bitter, I would not have won. But for a moment, I was like, wow, I am disappointed. But then they
Well,
proved us
listen,
wrong.
we listened to them through the cafe, and right away, everybody's butt gets hurt pretty bad, and then they realize, but that's why it's the All-Star.
I totally understand that. I cry. This is the only game I didn't cry. Ever.
There you go. I mean, that's a big deal.
Wow.
Well, we love the winner. I think it was a great game, all in all. It was what everybody expected. Now, one thing we've been doing to everyone, but it was all the players who were eliminated. But of course, you never were. But you get to give out the blue plate special of the day. So you're going to name it, but you have to name it with something that, how to describe your game. So something blank with a side of blank. And you don't have to use real food if you don't want. So how would you describe your game in a blue plate special? What's your favorite food?
Corn dogs.
Okay, so how would you describe your corn dog blue plate special by throwing in your game plan today?
A little spicy.
So spicy corn dogs with a side
With
of.
a side of. I'm trying to put with a side of eggs.
What type of eggs?
Wooden eggs.
Wooden eggs. All right, here we are. We have our winner of the All-Star game. This is your last time to talk to your fans right there. Let them know how you feel.
Thank you for supporting me all these years, fans. This one's coming. Y'all never seen me win. And now, y'all will see it.
Here it is. Great game. Thank you.